You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
And really looking forward to completing the weekend with more of our community's questions. We got through a bunch yesterday. Excited to see what questions are in store for me today. Always a surprise, to tell you the truth. A lot of people think that, I look at the questions ahead of time, that I plan them out, but I really don't do that for any of my podcasts. I don't at all. And the reason is, one is that it's a daily show. And it's not about giving you everything that you need to know in the world on one show. That's not what I hope this to ever to be. Because I want people to understand we live in a world of snippets of information on articles and social media posts, and right away that we believe, oh, that's the answer I was searching for. That is the silver bullet that will solve all my problems. I wish for myself, I wish for everyone else that that was the case. But the truth is this, that there are many layers to getting well. There are many layers to rebalancing our mind as well. There's layers to losing body fat and transforming our body, and there are absolutely layers to staying dis-ease-free as we age and working on that, reversing that anti-aging based process. So what I want you to understand is that it's not as simple as we always think, but there is always an answer. If we begin to compound our knowledge day in and day out, there's no doubt in my mind, you'll be able to think with a different lens. You'll see things with a different lens, and you'll also be able to sniff out what is good weight loss plans and wellness plans and supplements and not so good supplements and those different things. And then you'll also be able to share this information with a coworker, with a friend, with a sibling, with a parent, with your children. Again, that's the whole goal. The goal is, a lot of times people think because we have a lot of integrative health practitioners now, well over 1,000. I mean, some of the most amazing people in the entire world. And the mission is to heal themselves, heal others. But what we have to understand is this. You can do so much good by helping 12 people that are in your life that really trust you, right? Those 12 people will be forever grateful to you, and so will their families, and so will their children, and so will their sphere. And then maybe those 12 people will tell another 12 people, right? That's how we work this at a grassroots-based level. There's no way our community can compete in terms of dollars and advertising and all that with the media. We can't. You'll never see ads for a lot of really good functional medicine nutritional supplements or protocols or a lab test or anything like that on TV. You won't. Why? Because it's only the pharmaceutical-based companies that can spend that type of money on advertising. And you know what? They pay for news-based channels and all these different things for their advertising. So guess what gets shown? Ads for pharmaceuticals, right? And I'm not saying pharmaceuticals are always bad. They're really great in life-saving-based situations. But what I want to share with you is this. They're not the answer to rebalancing your body. Because at no time ever in your life has your body ever lacked a pharmaceutical. That's just the truth. Your body wasn't made with pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals are not of natural origin. Sure, many of them, 50% are extracts of plants, which is another question. Why don't we use the plants? But anyway, what I'm saying is this, is that there is an answer out there. And I simply want you to go deep. That's it. I want you to continue to listen to this show. You can listen to other shows. You can read more books, right? But don't just read the articles. Don't just read the social media posts. Go deeper. Read the books. Listen in depth on podcasts. Go back to the previous Cabral Concept shows and really develop a breadth of knowledge in terms of this wellness, weight loss, and anti-aging based sphere. So thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. And let's now dive into the show. All right. We left off on a bunch of Jamie questions yesterday. Jamie, I'm just picking on you for a moment. Jamie has monopolized the Cabral HouseCalls. And again, I'm just kidding, Jamie. I appreciate you writing in. I answered end of the show with 2 Jamie questions yesterday. We've got 3 today, and I'm going to get through them and not get through them. That sounds terrible. I'm going to answer Jamie's questions, and we're going to get to all the others today as well. These are leaving off on January 4th. So if you wrote in before January 4th, your question has already been answered. And if you wrote in afterwards, we will probably get through like the 5th or 6th or 7th of January today. And so your question will come in after that on an upcoming show. All right, so Jamie writes in, one of my team has been diagnosed with a mass lesion in the left occipito-temporal area of the brain. Having seen specialists in the field, they advised against removing it because it was too complex or deep. It's been 6 months, and it seems to be growing very slowly, causing him to have daily partial seizures, occasional complex seizures. He's only 30 years old, generally very fit and healthy. Just had a baby boy. Is there anything you can recommend that might help to shrink the tumor? Greatly appreciate any advice, as at an operation at the moment with modern accepted technology is too risky to consider. Okay, Jamie, thank you for writing in. And obviously this is, one of these horrible things that we hate to hear about. And, that's the truth, is that sometimes, again, this person on your team may probably not doing anything different than any one of us. And that's the scary thing. Is like cancer's the wild card. It really is. And so what we want to do is just try to keep our body as healthy as humanly possible. Really follow the de-stress protocol as much as we can. It's not all diet. It's not all exercise, right? There's stress reduction, there's toxin removal, there's sleep. It's the de-stress protocol. But what happens when you have cancer? So the thing is this, Jamie, I can't give you cancer-based advice. It's outside of my scope of practice. I would get in trouble if I gave you cancer-based advice, and I'm not looking to get in trouble. The other thing, too, is that you can't just give someone an all-for-one cancer-based advice. It's why I recommend looking into protocols that work much in depth with the person. They begin to look at proteolytic enzymes. They begin to look at plant-based diets. They look at fasting. They look at keto-based diets for brain-based tumors. Remember, I say there's a time and place for everything. So you might want to look in keto-based diets for brain-based tumors. You can go to cancertutor.com for a lot of information, a wealth of information on cancer. So I just can't give you cancer-based protocols. We provide support for people going through cancer-based treatments, but for sure, we do not claim to cure cancer. All right, next question. But again, I wish you and your friend the best. And I do think that there's hope. There's no doubt about it. I do believe there's hope. So I want you to continue to look into many things that I just mentioned. All right, next question from Jamie. Is it okay to have the healthy gut support each morning as part of my morning routine? I love the taste and need water first thing, so it's really nice to wake up to as I drink and make my morning smoothie. I run the Big 5 and had a good coaching call, but forgot to ask. Completed the CBO protocol last year, so all is pretty good at the moment, as well as continuing a quarterly detox. Thank you for all of your help. Jamie, great work. Hopefully you're doing that daily foundational protocol level 2. And yes, you can absolutely have the healthy gut support, 1 scoop ongoing if you like. I use 3 bottles every single year. That's how I do it. Basically, I do a 90-day CBO finisher, which is the healthy gut support and the clean gut probiotic once a year. I use my daily probiotic support every day. The healthy gut support, why could you use it every day? Because it's not a megadose of zinc. It's not a megadose of aloe. It's not a megadose of marshmallow-based root. It's not a megadose of glutamine. If you were to say, can I do 20 grams of glutamine every single day? I would say no. You could use 20 grams of glutamine for specific issues such as wound healing, burn healing, fixing the gut, working on cell volumization for bodybuilding, etc. But I wouldn't recommend that ongoing every day. However, 5 grams of glutamine every day, I'm okay with that. So Jamie, if it's working for you, keep on keeping on. All right, one more question from Jamie. When do you recommend taking a hot shower and when a cold shower? So many people swear by dunking themselves in a very cold bath in the morning to put a spring in their step. Is this okay or is it too shocking to the system? Your thoughts on hot and cold showers, baths in general would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for everything you do. Jamie, thank you. And these are really thoughtful questions. So Jamie, thank you for being an amazing member of our community. I appreciate you for sure. So does my team. Okay. Well, let me give you this, because I did a whole podcast on this. So to just give you a 2-minute answer is nowhere near as good as me giving you the entire podcast on hot versus cold. Okay, Jamie, that episode, if we go to stevencabral.com/podcast and we type in hot, cold as our keyword, it pops up a bunch of podcasts. But the one that I'm looking for you is episode 1294. All right. So who I recommend cold water therapy for. And you'll see that cold water, shocking to the nervous system, wakes up those neurotransmitters, whereas hot calms the nervous system, turns on more of the parasympathetic nervous system. It can be good or bad, again, depending on the person. So cold is certainly not great for that ectomorph or vata-based body type, very good for the endomorph kapha-based body type, vice versa. Episode 1294 will share with you all the details. Okay, so Simon is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I'm interested in sauna use for autophagy, general health benefits, and muscle recovery after weight training. I'm wondering if you could provide some detailed advice. I currently do weight training followed by a post-workout shake right before hitting the sauna for 20 to 25 minutes at 75 degrees Celsius. I've heard some people say that you should avoid antioxidants after a sauna or even after exercise as they reduce the good stressors in the body. Can you advise, should I include antioxidants in my post-workout shake? If I should have my shake between weights in the sauna or at the end of the sauna, are there any supplements that I should take to enhance the effects of the sauna? I consume lots of water, electrolytes, and stretching in the sauna. Is it a good idea? I'm a Vata Pitta in general, aside from IBS, which I'm working on, looking to optimize my health and longevity. All right, great. So, well, let me answer this for you. I've got lots of podcasts on sauna. I won't go through all of those today, but what I'd like to do is simply share with you some really straightforward guidelines. So, okay, I've done many shows, many answers on should you do antioxidants after your workout, and the answer is no. Okay, that's high-level antioxidants. You can absolutely do fruit and a shake or a daily nutritional support after your workout. I'm talking about should you do 5 grams of vitamin C after your workout? The answer is no, right? You should just not do high-dose antioxidants after your workout, just like you shouldn't take anti-inflammatories because they're not going to allow. It has much more to do. I think you talked about good stressors. It actually has to do with the repair process. So you don't want to squelch all of the free radicals and you don't want to calm the inflammation-based response. That inflammation-based response is actually there to repair the tissues. Okay, so you can do your antioxidants in the morning. You can do them at night on the workout days. No big deal. Easy, right? And don't count food as part of the antioxidant process. It's not going to be as detrimental. It's supplementation, right? High-dose vitamin C, high-dose vitamin E, others as well. But those are some of the main ones. Okay, so then you're doing a shake between the workout and the sauna. This I can absolutely help you on. So sauna is a form of exercise. I know that seems crazy, but one of the benefits that one of the reasons why sauna helps so much is because it literally works out your body, okay? You're doing it at 75 degrees Celsius. Just quick math, that's about 160 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, it's somewhere around there. So like 165, 167, somewhere around there. Okay, so, and I work a lot with people in Australia. It's the only reason why I do just general conversion with Celsius to Fahrenheit. That, and inside my sauna, I have a temperature gauge, and I just stare at Fahrenheit and Celsius back and forth all the time. So it's what helps me pass the time inside the sauna as well. All right, so you're doing another exercise for 25 minutes, which means you won't do your shake until after the sauna, all right? So you get the most benefits that way because there's going to be more of that breakdown. Now, just remember, you're more of the Vata Pitta, so you might need to bring an electrolyte drink into the sauna or drink it before you get in the sauna, but you won't do any specific supplementation. People do a niacin flush in the sauna. I don't think that you need to do that. If you do, maybe once a month. I wouldn't go overboard with a niacin flush. I just really don't feel like a lot of people need that unless they're dealing with histamine issues and they just want to really blow it out for the body. But I just don't think that we need to go overboard with that, okay? Some people do activated charcoal. Again, I don't recommend going overboard with that. I'd rather people do a bentonite clay or the formula we have as part of the intestinal cleanse. But again, not going overboard. We're just using this as part of a normal every other day or whatever it is for your routine. So that's super important. And that's about it. Then you talked about IBS. Best test for IBS is that Candida metabolic and vitamins test over at Equilibrium Nutrition. Or, of course, you can always work with your local functional medicine doctor. All right, so there you go. Kevin's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I've been a huge fan of your show for almost 2 years now. I purchased your book, and I learned a lot from it. I'm sending you a message hoping that you can guide me. My girlfriend was diagnosed 2 years ago with HPV, which is the human papilloma virus. She got treated for the second time by her conventional medicine doctor, who removed the genital warts. She just received an email mentioning that the treatment didn't work, and the virus is still present. She was told she has to wait another 6 months before getting a new test. We are considering having kids in the near future, but when the question was asked the doctor, he simply said that it wouldn't be a good idea without providing further explanation. Is there anything we can do to get rid of the virus? Does the HPV affect pregnancy? Am I at risk as well? Any help recommendations would be appreciated. Okay, Kevin, let's answer your question. I appreciate you writing in. Appreciate, obviously, your concern for your girlfriend. Okay, so let's look at this. HPV, obviously, not an ideal herpes-based virus for anyone to be dealing with. Now, keep in mind, Kevin, that HPV can be spread through any form of sexual relations. So just keep that in mind. And that means that anyone who is sexually active, if they're exposed to an active form of the human papilloma virus, could get it themselves. Okay. The second part is this. Again, I'm not giving you medical advice. I don't attempt to diagnose, cure, or treat over the podcast, that's for sure. That's not within my scope of practice. However, HPV rarely, through my research at least, and I've worked with a number of women in my practice with HPV, who there's no complications during pregnancy. So again, do your own research for sure. I'm not sure why your doctor may have said that, and there's no real risk that I've seen, again, to the baby. So I just want to be cognizant of the fact that I don't see that in the research. Now, you may read something else, or your doctor may have seen other research that I haven't, but I just want to let you know that from my practice as well. Now, I've done many shows, many podcasts on HPV. So, and they've been answering them on the house calls. So I just want to head over to stevencabral.com/podcast, and I want you to type in HPV to the search box, and you'll see that I've talked about it on 624, episode 890, 819, 1156, 1227, which is called the high-grade HPV virus, 1388, and 1422. So where I want you to start, though, is you can listen to those podcasts. Those are all the house calls. But I did a whole podcast on how to destroy viruses. So I recommend checking that out. And in addition to that protocol, I recommend adding reishi mushrooms. Check out the research on using 2 to 3 grams a day of organic or just wild, however you want to get them, reishi mushroom, okay? REISHI. Check out the research on how reishi is able to destroy HPV. Again, I'm not curing HPV. I'm not telling you how to cure HPV. That would be in the realm of conventional medicine. All I'm trying to do is point to the research, check out my podcast on how to destroy viruses, check out my podcast on reishi and HPV. Kevin, hopefully that helps. Shane's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I had prostate cancer 7 years ago and had a radical prostatectomy for removing my prostate. A little over a year ago, my PSA numbers started to rise. I've been seeing a naturopath doctor to get my PSA and candida under control, but both have continued to get worse. I'm now on your CBO protocol, first week. I don't feel like returning to my current naturopath. My question is, what would you suggest I do? I've been on a lot of supplements like apricot seeds and ECAC tea, other teas, as well as many other supplements. I'm on a strictly vegetarian diet, no dairy and no eggs. I've been using your daily foundation protocol too. My numbers were holding stable, but then now doubling. Can you help? Yeah, so there's a few things that I want to look at. I want to make sure, I know that you had your prostate removed. I still really like the product called Advanced Prostate Support. It's obviously our formulation with Equilibrium Nutrition. There's more than I want to talk about with this, right? So I want to look at why do I recommend that product. It contains saw palmetto, pygeum extract, a lot of great things that also help with overall testosterone production, to dihydrotestosterone in the body. So there's that part. But I also want to look at, heavy metals, specifically cadmium can affect, and what else? Bromine. So what I'd recommend too is doing a heavy metal detox, okay, and using a good omega-3 as well. So using zinc too. So another one would be zinc picolinate. So that's a place to get started. Again, I'd love to see you working either with our health coaching team or, again, at least beginning to implement these things. Again, this is not medical advice. I'm just saying, what if it was my brother who wrote in? What would I give him for advice? Well, of course, I'd say, try to work under the guidance of a health coach, integrative health practitioner, run the labs, follow the protocols, and, keep on keeping on with detoxification-based protocols as well. So, Shane, thank you for writing in. All right, let's answer 2 quick questions from Dar. Dar asks, feeling great. Thanks for all you do. Take supplements as well, but over the last couple of months, had been coughing up phlegm on and off without any other symptoms. Don't have dairy, much sugar or wheat. Gracias, not eating anything unusual or that I'm allergic to either. All right, so just a couple things I think worth noting, that food sensitivities can happen over time. It really is why it's important, in my opinion, if you're ever able to run the Big Five on a yearly basis. I know not everyone will be able to do that, but in an ideal world, of course, I would love people to do that. So run into food sensitivity to see if you become sensitive to something like eggs or avocado or banana. Believe it or not, I see those things in my practice. Okay, so there's that part. Let's say we don't do that. What else would we use for potential phlegm? Well, one thing I want to look at is post-nasal drip. Did you have a cough, cold, virus, etc. a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, and the post-nasal drip is still there? If so, if you believe that's happening, especially if it gets worse at night, check out my show on post-nasal drip and using something like a fire cider or fire tonic in order to get rid of that. Okay, let's say that there is just some mucus congestion in the lungs. Okay, we want to use heat. Ginger tea is a great one. You can drink ginger tea throughout the day, ideally hot. You can eat spicy foods to break up some of that phlegm. Cayenne pepper is one. There are many others. A sauna. A sauna is a great way to break up and loosen a lot of that hem. Remember, in Ayurveda, phlegm is a kapha-based disorder. How do we get rid of that kapha-based disorder? That cold, literally kapha is called cold and mucus or cold and phlegm. We want to use heat and dry. So we want a dry sauna. Not a wet steam, but a dry sauna. And then one more thing is I just recommended this product, and I know you wrote in Dar on, let's see, what was it, 1-7? Yes. I recommended this, was it last week? Was it last Friday review? No, it was 2 Fridays ago. Okay, it was on episode 1477, and it's a nutritional supplement called Moulin Lung Complex. You can check that out as well. All right, Dar or Darcy, this one says Darcy. I don't know if it's the same person or not. Probably not. I guess one says Dar and one says Darcy. Just a coincidence. Are Wonder Noodles, which are gluten-free, or chickpea-based pasta okay to eat? What are your thoughts? Okay, I don't know that I'm totally sold on Wonder Noodles. I'm a little leery, or weary is the right word, on pastas that are made to be keto-based. Like we're just using the fiber extracts of a lot of these things. I just don't know yet. I always err on the side of caution. Might be totally fine, but I don't try to do strange foods. Like I like to eat whole. I like to eat whole foods. I like to eat. Okay, this is a normal noodle. So that's the way. If you're worried about carbs, then I would go with something like zucchini noodles, right? Or butternut squash noodles are great as well. And you just use one of those little spiralizers to make some fun little noodles out of them. But of course, zucchini noodles are very, very popular, and it's an easy, low carb way to get in some pasta, and then you can use like that. Okay, so you've never heard of zucchini noodles or zoodles? You can go check them out. And then you also ask, is chickpea-based pasta okay to eat? What are your thoughts? And chickpea-based pasta can be totally fine. Like absolutely. Red lentil pasta is another one. So you're welcome to try them out. Again, it's really based on, can you handle the fiber of a chickpea-based pasta? Can you handle the lectin load of a chickpea-based pasta? And a lot of people can. So it really depends on if you can handle it with your digestive system. It's not as easy to digest as a, let's say, brown rice-based pasta or one of those, but that it doesn't mean that that's not the right choice for you, because it absolutely could be. So I recommend experimentation, see if it works with your body, and certainly they're both processed foods. I don't recommend eating zucchini noodles, are not a processed food, but I don't recommend eating that as like a daily thing, right? Every once in a while, maybe once a week or so, you could certainly add that to your routine. Hopefully that was helpful. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I appreciate you. If you're ever able to leave a review on iTunes for the podcast or your favorite media player, of course, I would really appreciate that. It will take you 30 seconds. And again, it greatly helps me and the show to be able to reach more people. The other thing too is if you've read The Rain Barrel Effect, I really would love you to leave a review on Amazon. Again, it helps me. It helps what I'm trying to do, which is spread the mission, get this out to as many people as possible. The Cabral concept right now does not have any sponsors or anything like that. It's just here to spread the mission. And my book, The Rain Barrel Effect, 100% of all profits go to charity every single year. So if you could leave a review, again, it would only take a couple seconds and it would mean the world to me. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Have an amazing weekend. As always, if the show is helpful, please do feel free to pass along to anyone you believe it could serve. Ever wonder what the best sauna, blue blockers, sleep trackers, wake lights, salt lamps, or other health gadgets are? Or what about the top non-toxic mattresses, sheets, soaps, bath products, toothpaste, and cookware? Or would you like to know the cleanest choices for hemp parts, meal delivery services, supplements, and much more? I personally curated, researched, and now created a resource page of all of my top picks that continues to grow each week. These are the exact products I use in my own life, with my family, in my private practice, and they're the ones I trust. To find out all of my up-to-date recommendations and all the details, simply head on over to stephencabral.com/resources.